Vault presents 15 things you need to know about Mafia III. The period crime drama series Mafia returns for its third installment, this time set in the 1960s in the city of New Bordeaux, a fictional recreation of New Orleans. Mafia III will follow the story of Lincoln Clay as he moves his way through the criminal fraternity, exposing the seedy underbelly of organized crime in America. The new game promises to be far bigger and better than its predecessors in big ways and small, and I think I speak for everyone following the game when I say that the more we find out about it, the more excited we get. Listed below are 15 features in the upcoming Mafia 3 that have us the most excited. Underbosses. Mafia 3 will see you play as Lincoln Clay and create and manage your very own crime family. It only makes sense that as the man at the very top of the pecking order of the family, then you'll be delegating plenty of work to your trusted lieutenants. Mafia 3 features 3 characters, in the form of Cassandra, Burke, and Vito, who was the main protagonist in Mafia 2, as your 3 underbosses, who will play a vital role in the running of your family. Sit-downs. As you gain control over more territories and business, the concept of underbosses will have an even more important role in the game. You'll be faced with making the choice of who gets to run your newly acquired territories, but you'll have to be careful and make sure that your underbosses are happy with your decision. If one of them starts feeling ignored and left out, it is entirely possible that they may decide to betray your crime family and leave, ultimately making an enemy out of you. And we all know what people in the Mafia underworld do to their enemies. Capturing and conquering the city. Seeing as your main aim in Mafia 3 is to create and run your own crime family, you will have to take out rival gangs and families who are vying for supremacy in New Bordeaux. Different families and gangs will have control over different parts of the city, and it will be up to you to bring these areas under your control one by one. And there will be plenty of ways for you to do that. You can destroy their business operations, or you can attack their bases, or you can hunt down their key members. Deal financial damage to the Mafia. One way of undermining your rival gangs and crime families will be to deal financial damage to their business and their trade. If a family's profits are reliant on prostitution, you can take out their pimps. If another family deals in the trade of heroin, you can track down their dealers and suppliers and hunt them down. There are several ways you can deal damage to the finances of your rival gangs and families, and all of this serves to weaken their position, and in turn, strengthen yours. Attack and overrun enemy businesses. Players will have the ability to attack and take over enemy businesses, securing more of a steady cash flow for their nefarious misdeeds. This will also serve to consolidate your hold over the city of New Bordeaux. Enemy interrogations. Dead enemies are significantly less useful in Mafia 3 than ones who are alive and can feed you information. Mafia 3 allows you to interrogate enemies so that you can learn more about what they may be planning. Of course, it's not exactly a groundbreaking feature, but it's a great way to add more flavor and a sense of realness to the game's world too. Locality-specific Mafia ecologies. New Bordeaux is going to be a large and varied city, going by what we've seen and heard of the game so far. The city will be divided into several areas, and these areas will be under the control of different crime families, and based on who runs things in the areas, they will have entirely different ecologies that distinguish them from one another. Drug trade might rule the roost in one area, so you can expect to see a lot of addicts and dealers there, whereas prostitution might be the most prominent business in another, which means you will have to deal with a lot of pimps. Each of these business and rackets have pros and cons of their own, meaning that once you have areas under your own control, you'll have to decide what to do with them. Call in your weapons dealer. Mafia 3 will have a great range of weapons, and all of them authentic, so that the illusion of this unique era in America's history is never broken. The best part is, the game makes it easy to use these weapons as well. Every time before you jump into a mission, you can call in your weapons dealer, who drives around in a van and make use of his wares. This should make it easy for players to explore all the different weapon options in the game. Call in reinforcements. Mafia 3 manages to simulate the criminal fraternity far better by not having the protagonist be a lone wolf. Instead, he is backed up by others in his organization who can help him out when he ends up in a tough situation. In Mafia 3, if you ever find yourself pinned down and overwhelmed against rival forces in the middle of a firefight, you will have the option of calling one of your underbosses and asking them to send reinforcements, really making you feel like you have the backing of an entire crime family of your own. Dynamic enemy reinforcements. However, on the flip side, your enemies will also have the ability to call in reinforcements. Enemy units in Mafia 3 can always call in backup, but you too have the ability to put a stop to that. A person might try to rush to a phone to call in reinforcements, but you can always attempt to kill them first. Different approaches. However, that doesn't mean Mafia 3 will force you to go in guns blazing anytime you're encountered with a mission. You can always choose the stealthy route and do things quietly. The game will allow players to make use of stealth mechanics, more on this in a bit, as much as it will allow them to go in guns a-blazing. It's not a feature that has never been seen before, of course, but it's definitely one that will lend the gameplay some variety. Deeper stealth elements. As we've already established, you don't have to go in all guns blazing in Mafia 3. The game offers you the choice of avoiding combat to an extent if you're smart about it. Sophisticated stealth elements such as creating distractions using your environment or items in the game made specifically for that purpose, or hiding any bodies you leave in your wake, let you divert attention from yourself or cover your trail, giving you more ways to approach encounters and combat situations in the game. Set-piece moments. Big, epic set-piece moments are all the rage in video games these days, and even in an open-world game like Mafia 3, where one would ordinarily expect the storytelling to be diluted somewhat, the developers are going all out to deliver the kind of resounding and impactful storytelling moments that will stick with the player long after the game is done. In the footage of the game we've been shown so far, we've already witnessed a few such set moments, and if they're a proper representation of what we can expect in the game itself, we'll be in for a treat. Narrative-focused open world. Remember The Witcher 3 last year? Remember how it actually managed to have a strong storytelling focus in spite of being an open world game? Apparently, Mafia 3 is aiming for a similar experience, where the sheer amount of agency afforded to the player does not in any way detract from what will hopefully be a powerful and impactful narrative. The developers claim that the city of New Bordeaux and everything it will be made up of will serve to drive Link and Clay's story forward, and we're excited to see how well it will work. Agenda missions. Remember the loyalty missions from Mass Effect 2? Agenda missions in Mafia 3 are sort of like a spin on that same concept. Agenda missions involve your underbosses, and are a way for you to learn more about those characters, making them real people with fleshed out motivations. This should keep you invested in keeping the cogs of your crime machinery alive.
Like this video? Why not give us a like and subscribe? We try and upload amazing videos almost every single day. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.